Hi everyone, hope you're doing well today. I've got 3 stock updates for you guys. There's not much news out there. Yesterday was an absolute snooze fest in the stock market with the US market shut. UK stocks stopped really doing too much yesterday. The US markets are back open today, but even with them back open today, there's not much to go on about. So I'm going to go with 3 news stories that I kind of picked up in the last 24 hours that are not major things, but maybe worth pointing out. And 2 of them are to do with 2 of my largest US positions, and then 1 to do with my UK growth stock that's absolutely on fire at the moment. So I hope you enjoy the video. First one, Hims & Hers. Not much going on pre-market for once with this one, only up 0.7%. So that's a very quiet day to what's normally been going on with Hims & Hers. Obviously in the last 5 days, up 39%. A little bit of a change with a price target. So there was a new price target come out today of $85, and this is from BTIG. I'll be honest with you guys, I wasn't really bothered when I saw it come out. I've been trying to use X a lot more at the moment. Obviously, I think maybe some of you guys are starting to follow me on there. I did post it on X, and I saw a lot of people talking about it, but it just came back to the point of view where I just thought, you know what, it doesn't really change too much about Hims & Hers. I've also noticed the really popular stock at the moment on X is a stock called Grab. It seems like everybody is talking about that one on there. I've actually done a stock request on the private group about that one, to be fair, and I've got my thoughts on that on the private group. But going back to the Hims & Hers price target, yeah, you know what? I posted about it, but I wouldn't worry about it. You know, all these analysts, they're chasing the price. They're trying to predict where the price is in 12 months' time. And half the time, 12 months, anything can happen. There could be a normal market surge and a tide lifting all boats, and then the market can hit a negative tone and bring it down in 12 months, even though financially it could be doing okay. They're just chasing the price half the time, a lot of these analysts. So I wouldn't really worry about it too much. I remember back in 2022 when the stock went to $3, nobody wanted to own it, and it was at $3, $4 at that period of time, and you had like Deutsche Bank here, and they were saying, oh, there's concerns around the ad spend. What concerns? Because if you actually just did basic maths, you would have realised the conversion they're getting on the advertising was getting better and better. Like that was basic maths. This is from people that are supposed to be the top dogs in this space, that are able to get the best data, be able to probably crunch the best numbers out there. And they were saying, oh, there's concerns around the ad spend, and it was like, well, no, not really, because if you look at them, the metrics are improving, and me here could work that out, and these guys are supposed to be the best in the business, the highest paid guys, and they initiated put a hold on the stock, and that's when the stock was like $3-4 at the time. At the time, it was bonkers, and that's the time where you'd probably want to be buying that one. There was another Piper Sandler. They downgraded in October the 17th, 2022, basically saying that then they think that they will not hit their expectations, and the macro uncertainty will affect them. Now, obviously, we know since that time frame, there was definitely nothing that affected them, because they just carried on smashing their earnings, and the stock would go. I mean, what was that put out on October the 17th, 2022? I don't know if we can go back to that time, October 17th, we're about there, I'd say. So from that time, the stock went up 1,000% in the next 2.5 years. So it shows you, like, these are the guys that are supposed to be best in the game, and honestly, they don't have a clue in the short term. They're trying to predict the short term price target of it, and half the time they don't even understand the business. They can't even forecast the correct financials. They're certainly not. If you're a long-term investor, you're certainly not listening to these guys. So yeah, it just makes you laugh now. You see some of them trying to chase the stock on the upward side. So I just take it with a pinch of salt, really. DraftKings, probably a slightly bigger move in pre-market. Stock's up around about 1% in pre-market. I think I'm up around about 92% on DraftKings right now, which obviously is pretty good going. Looking at the news today, though, I thought it was bad news once again for DraftKings. 2024 was a year where DraftKings were just doing some little things that I didn't really like that much, and I kind of lost. I'm obviously still bullish on DraftKings because it's my second largest position, but it got to me where I had to just bring the position sizing just down slightly because they were making decisions that I wasn't a big fan of. I feel like in 2022, 2023, they were making a lot of good decisions. 2024, I felt like the management team started to make a few decisions that I didn't like. The example of that would be, I don't think Jason Park should have been moved off the CFO role. That's another example. But they made another decision today that we kind of knew that was going to happen because they mentioned it about 3 or 4 times in the last conference call last week. But they made another decision today that I'm not really a fan of. So what they've done is they've launched a 500 million loan facility, which I just don't understand. I don't understand why they're wanting to take debt on at the moment. That they've got a healthy cash balance. The debt is, I would like them to pay the debt down a little bit at the moment, but yet they're putting more debt on the business, and I don't understand why they're putting more debt on the business and needing more cash. I mean, they're not using it to buy back shares. It's not like the stock is incredibly cheap at the moment where they need to be aggressively buying back shares or something like that. As far as I'm aware, obviously this might come out in a month or two, but there's no acquisition of something that they're taking this loan on for, and the company's going to come cash generative this year, and well, I guess it technically already is, but we're going to see decent amounts of profitability this year. Surely whatever you need, you can use the profit that you're going to generate this year for, unless it's something crazy. And I would prefer them to use that cash to pay down the debt and then use the cash to whatever activities they wanted to do, use that cash for it, not make the balance sheet weaker. So I don't understand the point of taking this loan on. I don't know why they're weakening the balance sheet. And once again, it kind of comes to the point of view where I look at DraftKings and I just go, it's just another thing that they're doing, which I'm like, why? It doesn't make sense for it to happen. Funny enough, I did send Jason Robbins an email over the weekend, just saying congratulations for another fantastic year. Financially, still very good year. And I asked him once again to come onto the YouTube channel for a half an hour chat. I would love to ask him what is the point of I mean, they put down here is that they plan to use the net proceeds for general corporate purposes. It sounds very broad to me. Like, why? You know, you've got cash on the balance sheet. You're going to be profit generate. Why take the debt on then? So it would be a question I would like to ask him, but obviously I got no reply yet. I think it would be good for him to come on the YouTube channel because obviously I think one of the, if not the only YouTuber on the platform that kind of stuck with the stock when it was kind of like at the $8 range. But we'll see. Obviously, it's his choice, but it would be good for him to come on the channel, I think. So we'll keep an eye on that one. And the next one is Audioboom. So another cracking day from Audioboom. It's now up another 7% today. In the last 5 days, now up 32%, which is impressive. And I made a video on Sunday saying, oh, yeah, I'm not anywhere close to really selling in some shares at the moment because I still think there's pretty good upside. I did not really expect that from when I made that video that the stock would then go up another 20% in like 2 days. So yeah, that was kind of crazy. Obviously, more excitement building around the stock. Maybe a few people kind of realizing that some of these big upgrades are going to come from the business. Maybe a few momentum traders also stepping into the stock. It would be good to get an update from Audioboom at some point soon. Obviously, it wasn't too long ago we had an update from them, which was on when did we get the last one? 15th of January. So we're about a month now from the last update. Obviously, I'm not going to be posting an update every like 1 or 2 weeks, but I wanted to see the next update to see if we're still heading ahead of expectations, because the numbers that analysts are currently expecting seem pretty low to me. So, and I mean quite far low, so they could easily do a small upgrade right now, I think, because I think they're only expecting like 10% growth, and I would expect them to be a lot higher this year. So we'd see if they come out with any more upgrades at the moment. Last time we had an update around about 15th of January 2024, and then we got the Q1 update in April time. So I guess we're only really 2 months away from getting the Q1 update. It'll be just interesting to see if they do an upgrade before the Q1 and then do the Q1 update, or if we're just going to go to the Q1 period of time and then they'll give an upgrade there. So we'll see what happens with it. I think then they need to do an upgrade, considering how much the stock. You know, if they came out now and said, actually, we're in line with market expectations. I think the stock would sink a little bit from that, but like I said, I do think it will. There will be that upgrade there. Looking at updated numbers, because since I last talked to you about it, obviously the stock has jumped up another 20%. So the difference now really is that the low side is about right. So if they only stick at 10% revenue growth, which is kind of forecast at the moment with brokers, 5% profit margin, 20 times earnings, we're about fair on the stock right now. So one of my big arguments when I made the video on Sunday was like, I don't really want to sell because even on the worst case scenario, there's still pretty good upside. Obviously, that upside has gone a little bit thin now. Middle side and top side are still showing some good upside, but that's expecting some big expansion on the profit margins. If I just update that to a 5% profit margin, the numbers are a little bit more restricted, so they do have to, hit that higher profit margin, big expansion now for them to kind of get the numbers here. Yeah, I mean, the difference between Audioboom now is that it has, I didn't expect them to go 20% up in, 2 days after kind of covering it. So I'm kind of, at the moment with Audioboom, there might be part of me that maybe takes a small trim on the position, potentially. But the majority I'm still holding because I do believe they're going to come out and upgrade the numbers. And if they upgrade the numbers, that would be probably some more suggestion that they're going to be more around these numbers, which would obviously give me a lot more confidence to hold, because if they do these numbers, the upside is still very big from here. So yeah, I'm kind of waiting for the next update now on Audioboom and if they are going to upgrade again. The only little disappointing thing with all this with Audioboom is that it's not on eToro. So obviously I set the eToro copy trader up, and obviously it's been doing quite well. I think we're up 20% this year. But I mean, imagine if if eToro offered Audioboom. I have requested for them to add it to the platform, and maybe some of you guys can request it as well. But if I had Audioboom as well in that eToro portfolio, we wouldn't only be up 20% so far this year. We'd be up probably something like 30% so far this year on that eToro portfolio. So it is gutted. It's a bit gutted when, your best performing UK stock isn't offered on eToro. So that's the only being the let down from Audioboom. But yeah, we're up 104% overall in my personal portfolio, which is for me the more important thing. So yeah, it's been a really good flyer at the moment. So yeah, I'm kind of on the watch now and seeing what goes on with Audioboom, and we're kind of waiting to see if that upgrade does kind of come out here anyway. So we'll keep an eye on it anyway. So that's the video for today, guys. Like I said, not too much going on in the market, so I kind of gave you 3 little mini updates, and hope you enjoyed it. See you in a bit.